We'll start with Daily Trust. Why Kano Singer Market keeps burning, and that's on pages 3 and 4 if you want more on that story. And also we have some other headlines making the round in Daily Trust. 7 missing, 5 billion naira property destroyed, and still in Singer Market. We have Governor Yusuf seeks federal government support. Tinubu orders probe. Shatima leads federal government delegation to Kano, all in pages 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust. Governors ACF commiserate with victims. Now on page 5 of the Daily Trust, El Rufai alleges importation of killer substance, and that's on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Victims of Niger attack get mass burial, and that's on page 6 of Daily Trust newspaper. If you want more on Daily Trust, do well to grab yourself a copy and stay informed. Next up, we have The Guardian. We have Daily Sun. Labour furious over 3 trillion naira bailout plans for power. We also have 2023 mistake won't repeat in 2027, says OB. That is all we have on Daily Sun. Grab yourself a copy and stay informed. And next up we have a reviewer on the line. We have a former Director News Voice of Nigeria, Ben Shamang. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning, and Happy New Week. Hello, good morning, Mr. Ben Shamang. Are you there? Please kindly unmute your mic, Mr. Ben Shamang. All right, while our guest is unmuting his mic this morning, let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper and see what made it there this morning, so that our guest will be able to unmute his mic and then join us. Let's take a look at the Guardian. Port users pay more as NCS recreates multiple FX regimes at 7% margin, and that's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Afenifere raises alarm over persistent terror attacks, abductions, and that's on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. CPPE decries 10 trillion naira yearly loss by MSMEs to employ corruption, fraud. That's on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. AU Summit, Nigerians backs reforms regional security measures, and that's on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. Mixed reactions trail reported US troops arrive amid fresh attacks, and that's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper if you want more on that headline. We also have NLC alleges federal government planning to settle the boys with 3 trillion naira electricity subsidy, and that's on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. We have Ben Shamang on the line now. Good morning, Ben Shamang. Thank you for joining us this morning to review the front pages of our national dailies.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining me.
Happy New Week. Let's start off with a Daily Trust. Now, we saw the reports concerning the fire outbreak at Singer Market in Kano State. What is your take on this, and why do you think that Kano Singer Market keeps burning, being that we saw, the first report in January, and now we're having a current report on the fire outbreak in the market?
Yes, you see, I was trying the emergency number 112, and true to what the guest there said, that the number is always available. Someone will pick. Truly, someone picked and simply asked me what the issue was. And I told the lady who received that I was testing to see whether the line was working. So it works. In other words, that service is doing its job. Then the next one is those who design the market. Is the market really very narrow? I mean, the path within the market, is it that narrow? Apart from that, who approved the residential areas right inside a market? Or which one was there first? Was it the residential or the market first? Which one went there first? And who approved that that should go on? Then when you're talking about some people checking the situations in the market, why should there always be wares? People are selling goods outside the stores or shops allocated to them. Also, the moment you have this kind of a situation, the response, even when it is quick, the vehicles cannot move because they also trample or roll on goods. And again, you also have those days we used to hear that people were storing explosives, petrol, and all that gas in their stores. And so once there was something like that, it would ignite fire. Today we no longer have fuel scarcity thanks to Dangote. So some of these things, there are some people that must be held accountable. That one fell swoop within just how many hours that we are losing 5 billion naira worth of goods. That's even an estimation. So I think that someone should be held accountable. Apart from that, sometimes you also have not just the federal fire service, state federal service, individuals were told that they all went there to assist. But again, do they have the relevant chemicals to be mixed with the water to ensure fire goes easily, or they just go there with ordinary water? Apart from those that have parked their vehicles for that long, no service, no petrol, nothing, and the personnel, are they well trained? Then those who go there to loot, some people, as they say, fishing in troubled waters, and that's what they go to loot other people's shops. When some people are crying, some will be laughing to the banks because they did some stealing of what do not belong to them.
All right, Mr. Ben Chamag, another headline: El Rufai alleges importation of killer substance. We have seen, should I say, a little war springing up when it comes to El Rufai's arrival to Nigeria, the back and forth. And now we're seeing this new reports concerning him saying that Ribado should be asked certain questions about the importation of a killer substance. What is your take on this issue on the ground?
Just like some of us should be asking him at the point he said he was in hospital in Egypt. In other words, the Egyptian hospitals are also not too good the Nigerian hospitals are not too good for people of his caliber. So I remember when Daily Trust had its annual dialogue, he was answering questions or contributing from Egypt, and he said he was sick. He would come back so soon. Okay, now that he has come, we're seeing allegations here and there that the NSA office, they are importing some toxic substances, they are killer substances, so to speak. And so he who alleges must always prove. So it's for the onus is for El Rufai to prove that NSA imported this and where they are, what quantity, where are they hidden, and all that stuff. Apart from that, El Rufai is also saying that there are some conversations. He maybe he's prior to he has some knowledge via some third parties and all that stuff. So that tells you that some people are spying on the government, and illegally too, because spying that way is also an illegal business. So we are talking of a situation where nobody should be above the law. I still remember many people that suffered under El Rufai too. So now that he's back, all we hear is we are going to remove Tinubu from office. I was thinking that I will hear this is what El Rufai team will do to end insecurity. This is how El Rufai team would what El Rufai team will do to promote religious harmony. This is what El Rufai team will do to. In fact, I went to this Argungu fishing festival. I saw youth still walking without shoes. Poverty is so much in the north. I want to see an agenda from El Rufai and his team that this is what they will do to salvage northern Nigeria, that is so much been attacked by terrorism, banditry, poverty, out of school syndrome. You walk around, in fact, Tuesday morning up to Sunday yesterday, I was in KB State. I saw quite a lot of children that ought to be in school. I didn't see them. I want to see what El-Rufai is doing about that. When you enter an eatery, what you see is a sea of beggars blocking the street, I mean, the gate of the eatery, all wanting to get something from those who have gone to eat. I want to see how that comes out. These allegations, well, it's for him to prove for Nigerians. And we also want a situation where journalists are also set free to walk freely the way they ought to do as enshrined by the Nigerian Constitution. These are things we want from the El-Rufai group, or not just. I don't know how I'll vote because you said you help to remove Tinubu. I'm waiting for Tinubu to give me my own goodies in my own village. But when I also hear El-Rufai, we're going to unseat, where is the way out? Is it just unseating that's the agenda? Let us talk to Nigerians the way they will love opposition or love government, or see reasons why they should cross over to that party or this party. We are heating up the polity. It's not the best for Nigeria. We are not promoting friendship. We are not promoting real political agenda for the country. All we want is to heat up and make this hatred appears to be so palpable in Nigeria. North-South divide is so clear, and it does not go well for Nigeria.
All right, Ben Chamaga, another headline: National Assembly reconvenes tomorrow over 2027 election timetable. They are to, deliberate on the electoral issues arising from the recently announced timetable by INEC, concerning the general elections in 2027. What is your take about this?
Well, Nigerians are moving towards uncertainty. The National Assembly, the symbol of democracy, is on break. Last week, due to pressure, they had to come in to now tinker with just a provision, whether there should be electronic transmission of results of the election real time, or there should be transfer physically. It took them people's rejection for them to sit down. Now that they've approved a dual method, they're coming back. What is wrong if all elections in Nigeria are conducted one-stop shop? Yes, it can take us 2 days to conduct the elections. So who says that we cannot? When a voter goes, you give him or her all the ballot papers, meant for the National Assembly, meant for the president, meant for state, meant for governors. Just elect whoever you are electing. And it's now left for them to be transmitting that as to the equipment being set up to select whichever can be done. If we have that, I think that the National Assembly will just be the symbol of democracy we're talking about. It's not just you came and just tinkered with that portion and disappear to enjoy your life. Nigerians are groaning lack of electricity, groaning lack of employment, groaning insecurity, groaning no economy, food insecurity is there. They're just there relaxing. Now I can see former Senate President releasing 17,000 bags of wheat to mark Ramadan. Why have we been keeping all these bags to wait for this period? Can't we simply be good to Nigerians at all times? Do we wait for a religious period to play the religious card? I think the National Assembly, when you come back, look at what Nigerians are saying. What will be the good for the whole country? Is it that they are playing to somebody's gallery, playing to somebody's card? Is it that they want to assist somebody? What is it all about? Nigerians are waiting and want to see that the National Assembly, that symbol of democracy, give us elections that we want. And for INEC, once that comes, we take it. And I can see Christians and Muslims are saying, by the time we'll be talking about elections next year, the period will tally with the Ramadan, tally with Lent period, fasting period. So if we are this religious, why don't we simply just go and vote? That does not hinder you from fasting. I think so. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ben Shamang, for joining us this morning to review the front pages of our national dailies, as always.